Good. All right, we're going to move on to smart connected kitchen, and I'm going to pass this guy down because there's a lot of control required over there.
Yeah, well, Sean, this is really your ballywag. So why don't you, you've done a great job helping me understand why smart appliances. Let's share that here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we talked a lot about different pieces of smart technology, doorbells, thermostats, lights, blinds, et cetera. All of those things have gotten more sophisticated, right? I mean, I don't think anybody thought about a thermostat. Maybe you had a programmable thermostat, but now you're buying a $200 Nest or an Ecobee or something like that. Same thing with the video doorbell. But they add the peace of mind, they have the benefits. Appliances have gotten that same way. They've gotten more and more sophisticated, and then they have benefits beyond just the basic things that they could do, right? So when you think about a meal, and you think about making a meal, and you think about, I gotta plan the meal. What are we gonna make? What's for dinner? It's a major question that a lot of consumers ask for. I got to purchase that meal, so I got to go and get it, or I got to have it delivered. I got to store that product. I got to put it into a refrigerator or some kind of containment. I've got to cook it, so I've got to actually prep it and cook and make that meal. Don't forget, you got to clean it up, and then you've got to replenish it again, right? So it's a fairly complicated process to be able to just provide a meal to your family, which is something that you do every single day. And when you talk about that, that's a refrigerator, it's a range, it's a dishwasher, just in that process of the three things that I talked about, not to mention any other kinds of small appliances that you make, right? So when you think about that, and then you combine it with just the shifts in the industries of the omni-channel approach, right? People want things the way that they want it. You've got to be able to meet them where they're at, and they're demanding that. And I see no other way to do that than a connected strategy, right? If it's not connected, if they're not connected to their pieces, I find it very difficult to be able to try and do that. So really from a kitchen standpoint, it's a matter of trying to bring those things together in a way that's appropriate for consumer. And then you look at the rest of the industry with Matter and with the Home Connectivity Alliance that are bringing all of these smart products together, right? They're bringing them all under one interoperability type of an approach. You start to see where the 5 things that I've got on this page are just the beginning of where smart technology and smart homes can go.
You brought a couple of videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are we able to play that first video?
Alexa, what's the weather like today?
The weather outside is 67 degrees Fahrenheit, with sunny skies.
Alexa, tell Smart HQ to wash my cashmere.
Setting washer for cashmere.
Alexa, tell Smart HQ to remove wine stains.
Adjusting washer for wine stains.
Alexa, play music.
All right, playing music you like.
So here, that's one, if you look at it, I've actually fought against putting Alexa in a washer. I kind of questioned why we wanted to do it. But then once I got it, you started to realize this kind of multimodal experience that you get when you do something like that, where you take a fairly complex device. It's got a lot of features and functions on the control, and via your voice, you can have it get wine stain sound. You can have it set to silk or to cashmere, just with your voice. Those are functions and features, and those are things that I knew we could do. What I didn't realize was laundry's a chore. I don't know if anybody in the audience likes to do it, but I absolutely hate it. And I really, really hate folding the clothes. But what I found was I could catch up on the latest chapter of the ebook that I was listening to while I'm folding the clothes, which doesn't sound like much, but it takes that chore and makes it a little less choreful, I guess, or a little less, little more desirable, I guess, is a better way to look at it.
When are you guys going to come up with the folding clothes robot?
Yeah, that's
Where is that?
That's the
That's
billion
smart.
dollar. That's the billion dollar
smart.
investment. Yeah,
Is that 20 years?
probably.
Okay.
So it's when you look at smart technology, you want to make it purposeful, and that's really what we ended up doing with this. Is we gave you something that took a chore, made it easier, but also took the complexity of what consumers wanted to do and made it easier. We showed an adult there, but that could easily be a child, right, doing the laundry. So you're providing that experience to a child, because these homes are investments, right? You're selling something to a family that is going to probably have a baby. That baby's gonna become a toddler. That toddler's gonna become an adolescent. It's gonna become a teenager, right? And so how do these products change with that lifestyle? Because they're investing in the home. If you don't have a connected product, that thing is gonna stay exactly the same way that it did day one.
I would think if you were just able to, the dryer dries, let me know about it, and if I can't get to it, let's keep spinning it and keep the wrinkles out of it.
And that's, to me, if you look at your good, better, best, or your table stakes, like remote operation notifications table stakes, right? You have to be able to do those types of things. You take it into voice assistance and replenishment, right? Where you're working with Alexas and Googles and you're ordering stuff. Again, good, but you can get better. And then you start looking at, okay, now you get into multimodal, like some of the stuff that I showed with the Alexa, where you're talking about the user interface. How do they interact with it? What are the different pieces that I can do? How can it perform better than it could if I didn't know how to do that?
Are there some steps where a standard for a production builder would be a non-smart product or a smart product that have some features, and how do you stage through that?
Yeah, so I think what you want to look at is you want to get into the smart category, right? So you find the entry level that meets the consumer's needs, and then from that point, once you're at smart, it's about the hardware, and when the hardware is available, then you get the upgradability. So it goes from baby bottles to sports bottles, from baby clothes to soccer uniforms, right? Are all the things that you can do as those families' needs change. Not to mention, we've got one other video that can show you where the performance comes into it, where you can really take something that didn't exist the day that they bought it and give it to them later on.
Great. Let's play that second video.
So that was the third of the over-the-air updates that we've done. We did turkey and we did air fry as well for our consumers. So it's about driving point. Those things weren't available when those consumers put those products into their homes, or you guys put them into the homes. They came afterwards, and connected technologies and this strategy is the only way to be able to do that. So to me, it's an investment. I think, again, you start out, and then with the right partners and the right companies, it takes it and moves it to the next stage.
And I know that the microwave with the screen as a hub for the kitchen, what is that connecting to?
So that can control all of our appliances. It can control a lot of partner appliances like Philips Hue light bulbs and things like that. So think of it like a central hub tablet that can control a lot of different pieces, plus play music, plus give you all the advantages. So it's almost like a Android tablet.
But what about information and communications on that too?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're able to source recipes, and you've got them in a bigger format, and
Internet's
you do
at your-
FaceTime and stuff on that?
Yeah, the internet's at your fingertips, and it's got the cameras to be able to communicate. So, if you wanted to call grandma and say, I'm screwing up this marinara sauce, I don't know what I'm doing. She can actually see it. She just needs a smartphone. She can actually see what you're doing.
You have it in the range. You have a camera in the range hood. So you can see the stovetop, and you can see.
Yeah, you can see that, and then she can say, well, you're putting too much tomato sauce, or you need to, it's not tomato juice, it's tomato sauce, right? That's why it looks like tomato soup. So
Sean, you're showing your non-paisano nature. We don't put tomato juice in sauce.
Well, I know, that's why it looks like tomato soup.
How are our builder partners seeing either demand and or?
So the number one thing that jumped out at me is an opportunity to reinforce in the prospects mind that, hey, I'm getting a new home. You know, I don't have to just take what range and microwave that they have in, you know, those 4 resales that we looked at this afternoon as well. Yeah, it's cool, it gets me excited, but if your sales staff can, you know, again, just reinforcing that this is what it is to have a new home. These are the opportunities that you have by purchasing a new home. And you know, so even if I'm not having to go head-to-head competition with the other builder that's down the street in the other community, whatever, it's that, you know, hey, we're going to reinforce this is a new home.
True. What do you think?
I've always been a big poo-pooer about the smart appliances, especially, you know, a few years ago where you're kind of like, what am I going to do? Set my dryer from far away? I still got to put the stuff in and all of that. But it has come a long way. I mean, you know, some of the things you've just talked about that I haven't even seen sound very interesting. The main thing that I like is just a notification, like, you know, on your phone, bzz, dryer's done. That's pretty cool. So,
Well, I think that remote start of an oven was way overused early on, like 10, 15 years ago. Like it was the promise of the smart home, and people would go, wait, how often do I need to do that? Yeah, some people do, but I think it's come a long way. I think the social connected recipes. I mean, I love to cook, and just be able to get something, and you know, if I'm trying to do something I've not done before, how do I get an example of it?
Yeah, I mean, cooking is a family and friends thing. You know, there's a lot of sharing. So I like the social information communication aspects, and the appliances are there, right? And the cooking needs to be done in an updated way. But I'd like to see more on the IT, AV side of things. I think that's part of the game. Yeah.
as long as it's not something else that's going to break.
Aha. Okay.